Rain, my Cane Corso, and that is Storm over there, my Rottweiler. My Cane Corso is trying to get my attention, so he's trying to jump on me. Oh, what are they doing? Staring each other down? Well, coming in today, I'm not going to stay on a long time, but I do want to just give you guys an update. Because right now it feels like we kind of play with a lot of medical issues with our dogs right now. It may not look like it, but my Rottweiler right now is kind of suffering from her back hip, so we really got to go take her in soon. She takes carboprofen, which is a prescription that we get for her. It's like an anti-inflammatory medication, and that helps out a lot. It keeps her going, but you can see how she's kind of standing in the same spot a little bit. I mean, she's moving around. It's a little deceptive, and then okay, now she falls to the ground. I don't think that falling to the ground is because she's like some of that is just the way she plays. That is some of her tactics on playing, but mainly I think she's doing that because she's just doesn't want to be on her back hip. And so Nakani Corso, he's full of energy. He's a baby, so he's pouncing around. But it does irritate her because he's, getting too excited around him. So she retaliates a little bit. Like, see how she's like, leave me alone. Like, she wants to play, but also leave me alone too. But he's got too much energy. So giving her situation and what he wants, or I can almost say what his needs are. His needs are to exercise and have fun. And so I have a mismatch right now. I have a dog she used in most days, in most circumstances, if she wasn't, you can see how she favors her left hip a little over her right. In most circumstances, she would absolutely love this, you know. And a lot of that rough play that you hear is kind of that's her gameplay until it gets serious. And then it kind of almost sounds the same, but if you watch what you just saw a second ago, where she kind of just said, leave me alone at the very end, but he's not getting the message because for him, even though it's negative attention, it's still attention and he wants to play. So, so we've got some challenges that we've got to work through. So the way I'm going to fix today or get through today, you see that limp? That's what I'm referring to. So he wants to play. She wants to play too, but she see how she like, I want to, but I can't. Yeah. So the way I'm going to fix this, and I can't stay on too long because she's going to get extremely irritated after a while with his wanting to play, is I'm going to take him for a run on the golf cart. And baby girl here, she's going to rest up a little bit more. And that's what I hate doing that because she loves to run. That is her thing. It makes her so much joy. So the thing that brings her joy also causes her more issues. So, that's how life is sometimes. She's trying to tell him, leave me alone. I'm getting love from daddy. But you see how much energy he's got? I mean, he is just going nuts. Absolutely nuts. And see, she wants to play, but it's just not there, y'all. Let's see. So she goes, it's like 50-50. It's 50-50, I want to play with you, 50-50, leave me alone. You know what I mean? And so the way she compromises, she goes to the ground, so she's not on her hips, but she can still play, you know? So I don't know how we're going to be able to fix her or help her better. We're going to take her to the vet, and hopefully the vet can give us a little bit more help and advice, because it's sad. I love to see my dogs play. I love it whenever they're excited. But with her being in pain, it's half play and it's half leave me alone too. See how that she initiated that. So she wants to play. I can see it. But she's also trying to tell him, okay, let me jump in real quick. Storm. And so he just kind of goes. She's not really truly biting him hard, but it can get more aggressive. You know what I mean? I know that's really, really like aggressive, but it's really not. But we can shut it down too. Okay, guys. Well, that's enough. Yeah, it's not as bad as it looks. If you're not used to it, it's not as bad because they're not really truly chomping each other's flesh off. They're just rough playing, and she's just extremely loud. So, but I'm gonna shut it down because I just want her to stay safe. But yeah, this is what they want to do, but challenges be what challenges be. So we have to adjust. So this girl, she's gonna get her love this morning, and she's gonna stay at home. And this guy here, he needs to get his exercise done. So he is going to get a run in because he's been a menace. The other thing I'm dealing with was with this guy. So he's got these little ulcers on his lips. Can you see that? That's not normal. So he needs to go to get seen for that. I don't know if it's some infection or what's going on there, but so I've been using it's the weekend, so I'm gonna try to go maybe on Monday, take him in as a walk-in, so we can make sure that whatever it is, we don't make it worse by not treating it. So, but I noticed it, and now we have to go take care of it. But that's the life of having these. Oh, she had to go poop. Sorry, guys. Did you poopity poop? Right on my project area. Okay, we'll survive. At least it's solid. I mean, so whether you believe it or not, you paying attention to your dog's poop is kind of important. It's kind of important. So make sure it's not runny, just solid poop. So we're doing good on that end. But he needs to be seen, and big girl needs to be seen. So sorry to make everybody have a lot of negative news today, but that's what I do on this channel is I just kind of let you guys know what I'm dealing with and the challenges that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. I don't know where the comments are. It's interesting. I don't see any comments. I don't know if I changed the setting or what. So where are the comments at? I don't know what's going on, guys. So I apologize. I don't see the comments coming through. Usually I have at least a few comments, and I usually address them, but I'm not seeing comments on my screen to address. So maybe I may have lost connection or something. But if you're one of my regular followers, you can probably catch the highlights when I upload it later. Feel free to do so. But today is just kind of update on kind of the challenges of today and what we got to work with. So we've got issues with homeboy and his lips, and we've got issues with homegirl and her hips. So hips and lips, that's what we're dealing with. Hips and lips. That's what the Storm and Rain family are dealing with. But the thing about it is that, I really encourage you, if you do find issues or you notice things with your dog, it's better to try to take care of them and instead of like sit them out, because they could be suffering in silence. I try to get you closer to Storm. Come on, Rain, let's go visit Storm real quick. Come on, buddy. Come on. I think even though he has these little things that we need for his lips, but he's not going to skip out on his workout because he needs that, guys. If you've been watching how energetic he's been and how he's kind of being a nuisance, right, to the Rottweiler, just because he just wants to play. So he's got to get this energy out so he doesn't cause harm to this girl, and then this girl retaliates, and now we have an issue on our hands. So it's like, you got to read your dogs, read their signs, know what they need, because they love each other, but that doesn't mean that they won't hurt each other because they love each other. You have to be kind of on guard with that, especially given her hip situation. See how she's sitting down? That's not because she wants to. I think that's because she's just not wanting to put pressure on that hip. So she's not going to get a chance to work out, which I hate that for her. She loves it. This dog, I've never had a Rottweiler that loves to run. She's almost like a Doberman in that respect. She absolutely loves it. I know there's got to be some comments at this point. So I apologize, y'all, that if you have comments on there, I cannot see them on my screen for some reason or another. I have no idea what I did to change the settings, but I will go back and read the comments later. So yeah, it's a terrible thing to watch your dog love something that you can't provide for them at the moment. And I'm not saying we can't medicate her, give her some anti-inflammatory so that she can go on her run, but I think that's only going to make it worse under the circumstances. Usually I don't mind like giving her a little bit of extra, reducing the amount of running that we do just to kind of give her her fun, her release of energy, and also not overdoing it. But in this case today, with her limping around, I just don't see it, y'all. We have to give her some love, and then we're going to let her stay at home on this one. But this guy here, this Connie Corso, if he does not get exercise, y'all, he's going to tear everything. Now, he doesn't like just go ballistic or anything like that, but he's going to continue to be a nuisance, okay? And I don't mean that like, like just... he just wants to play. He's telling you, look, I want to do something. I want to do something. I want to do something. And so he'll grab something to try to encourage you to play. And so he's trying to encourage Storm to play with him, and she's in pain. So it's just creating problems. So So he got to get, so just a quick, all it takes is 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes with that golf cart, with him running, and that guy is going to be clean out. He's going to be out for the rest of the day. He's going to be taking it easy and just chilling. So, so that's it. That's what all I want to do is give you the updates on how the Rottweiler is still kind of getting a little suffer. She's suffering a little bit more than what we normally see with her, and she's getting the medication to help with the pain. She has her ibuprofen for her pain, but it's starting to really kind of hinder the quality of life, which tells me that she probably needs to be seen to be evaluated further. If there's something else that we can do about it. And then with him, he's got to be seen for his little lip ulcerations that he's got. It's like superficial ulcerations on the left side of his jowls. So whatever that is, it could be, like I said, it's kind of an interesting pattern. I don't know if it's something that's being infected, and I use that. I use some of that antiseptic spray, that stuff that they for dogs. That stuff is amazing. I've anytime my dogs get cut or get some sort of break in their skin, that stuff just you spray that stuff on there and ooh, before you know it, they're healed and it's not infected. That stuff is amazing. You can pick it up anywhere, like any of those dog stores. I'm not naming anybody because I'm not sponsored by anybody. I would like to be sponsored, but I can't get sponsored. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, that stuff is amazing. I don't even know the brand I use, but you can just look it up, and it's just like an antiseptic spray. Just it's nice to have around the house because they're always getting into something. They're always, you can't keep your dog 100% like intact all times. They're gonna go run really quick and cut their toe on something, or they're gonna push their face on something, and there's something's gonna drop on them. It's always gonna be something. So you got it. So having that spray on hand is really, really helpful, and it just speeds up the healing process. It keeps it from getting infected, from getting worse. But my suspicion is when I spray it on his face, he just licks it off almost immediately, and it's not really helping. So I might have to get some sort of ointment or something that will stay on there a little longer. If that's what I think it is. Like I said, it's a little bit ulcerated, and it's almost you can almost miss it if you're not paying attention. You see what I'm saying? You can almost miss it. You have to be really kind of looking, but it's not normal. It's truly like an ulcerative thing. So we'll get on that. Try to go probably do a walk-in. Sometimes you just have to wait it out. And so when I take him in, since he hasn't been socialized a lot lately, I don't know how he's going to react to other dogs or the people right now. It could be positive, it could be negative. But for safety, I'm going to go ahead and put a muzzle on him at the appointment. If he does well, then maybe next time we won't do that. But you don't want to take chances with your big dog like this, because the moment that you think everything's going to be a-okay is the moment that something happens. Prime example. So I'm always, encouraging people in my neighborhood that if you have dogs, and especially these big dogs, make sure you have fencing to keep them behind the fence and safe. And if you're in the front yard, I get that we're out in the country. I get that, but this is still a community. There's still houses here. I mean, people live here. This is not like, we're not like country where there's miles away for you to see the next neighbor. We are actually an active neighborhood. So bet somebody's going to be walking. Bet somebody's going to be on their bike. Some kids are going to be playing. So with you trusting your dog, if you don't know how your dog's going to react with 100% certainty, why leave your dog in the front yard with no leash, not behind any fence? Why? Because it was okay the last 9 times, that means the 10th time is going to be okay? No, I mean, that's not the way to approach this. These dogs, sometimes things trigger them, something, maybe they weren't introduced to that stimulus, and now that stimulus is enough to disobey your command to come back. And if that's the case, and you have a big dog like this, what are you going to be facing with when that big dog takes, goes nuts and bites whatever he's after? So in my mind, I think it's always best to try your best. Do with if you're in the front yard, put a leash on him. Put a leash on him. Why not? Make sure you can grab the leash too, because you don't want to have a leash on them and they still run off and you can't grab the leash. So be fast enough to grab the leash, or do one. They make these long leads that you can get where they can go to the maybe 20 feet or 30 feet, whatever, and then you still can grab a hold of that leash. Or you can make your own lead like that. Either way, my point is be careful, okay? And so this morning I was thinking to myself, because I have an automatic gate over there, and it rolls. And I got my truck over there and stuff like that. And so this morning, I thought to leave him in the backyard while I opened the gate to go. I was bringing in some plants or something like that, and I thought to myself, I'm not gonna take a chance. I'm gonna go ahead and put him inside the house. Close the door. I know it's overkill, but I guarantee you, this is what happened. I opened that gate up and I was getting ready to go to my garage is over there. And I was getting ready to go, and the next thing you know, I see this guy with this pit bull walking in the street, just almost like that. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the reason why I was smart enough to open the gate, put my dog in the house, and leave him in the house. Because that gate being open, no leash, no collar, he could have easily ran out in the street with this pit bull and this owner, and they could have got into an altercation, and it would have been my fault. Why? Because I let my dog, and he was probably had a leash on his dog. It looked like he did. My fault. It just happens randomly like that. Do you know what I mean, guys? It's like it's a situation where you can't always predict. 9 times out of 10, nothing happens. I could have let that gate open and just for the whole hour, nothing, right? 2 or 3 days in a row. And then on the fourth, fifth day, sixth day, whatever, somebody comes and then that's enough of a stimulus that my dog, and that's the thing, you got to know your limitation. There's some people have like these super obedient dogs they've trained them to where they say stop or come back, even with the strongest stimulus that you can think of, and those dogs have learned to obey. Unfortunately, I don't got that. I mean, I have that to a certain degree, and I'm working on just with, especially these guys, with my neighbor, when they're out there in their backyard, I'm trying to make sure they come back when I call them. So I'm working on that. But I don't think I have the kind of control where a pit bull is going down the road, and it's a big dog too, guys, and the gate is wide open. That's super stimulating to, especially with him being so like bored and want things to happen right now. That would have been like all the stimulus that he needs to disobey me and blow past that gate and go forward. So, point being, be careful, be cautious when you have these big dogs. And guys, I know there's got to be comments, and I apologize that I'm not responding to your comments. It's just because for whatever reason, when I started streaming, I don't have the comments on the screen. I know there's probably a function that I'm not doing right to be able to see your comments, but I'll try to come back and read them after the fact. So if you put comments, go ahead and put general comments for everybody. And any questions, I'll just try to remember to go back and answer the questions later. So that's the goal today. And stay safe, everybody. Please stay safe. Keep your dogs safe. If you're gonna up the game to these bigger dogs like this, and especially if you there's some people out here, man. I know y'all are like personal trainers or dog trainers, and y'all got your dogs on lock. Look, man, you have it. You teach me, right? You teach me every day. I'm cool with that. But a lot of these people that are not dog trainers, they're still work every day like I do, or they have full-time jobs or whatever. But they want to have a dog like this that they can hug and love on and keep around the house. That's great, but it comes with a cost. And that cost is you have to be diligent about protecting them from themselves a lot of times. So get yourself a good secure fence. That was one of my first things when I moved in this place, is built me a fence all the way around this whole property and luckily I don't have like a Belgian Malinois that doesn't mind jumping over fence. If you have a Belgian, you're done for, bro. And they will get out if they want to get out. But these guys, they don't prefer jumping. Now he could probably do it because he's so tall, but they're not interested in jumping the fence. So that's a plus for me. Get you a good strong fence. And right now I don't use collars in the backyard. And if you've watched me before, you know why I don't use collars in my house. I have too many things around here for the collars to get caught on. I've got these chairs, I got everything, and I got constructions that I'm doing right now, and those collars can get caught on things, and they can actually cause your dog to not exist. And unfortunately, that's happened to me. That's how I know. I'm very sensitive about that, and I don't do collars at home. Now, when we go out and about, definitely have to have collars. But here at home, where they're secure behind the fence, no collars for us. A lot of it, and let me tell you what, a lot of people do have I'm not criticizing, so don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that with your dog, but I know what kind of dogs I have. And my Rottweiler, one of her go-to play things is to go for the neck, and she will grab the collar and yank the collar around and get twisted on it. That's how I lost one of my dogs. Is she was playing with it, got twisted around the collar, couldn't release the collar, and lost my dog. So, and I wasn't even at home when it happened. My son was here, and they were out there playing around, and we didn't even think anything about it. Like, what dogs can't have collars, right? Who, like, apparently we can't with her because of her, the way she does the collars. She grabs the collars, and she'll bite at it, and they got twisted. She couldn't release, and it choked out my other dog. So, I think I'm finally past that, but that hurt it, y'all. My family, we mourned for months. We mourned over that. That was a huge loss. So if I can encourage you guys, if you have a dog that doesn't, they like to yank on the other dog's collars, please be careful. Be careful. They can have an accident, and they don't mean it. She didn't mean to kill her. It was her brother. She didn't mean to kill him. He was a beautiful Rottweiler, y'all. I love her to pieces, and she's my baby girl. But that boy Rottweiler, oh my goodness. It's like bad things always happen to nice people. I don't know why, but it's always the good ones, right? And I'm not saying she's not good. Don't get it twisted. She's a good dog. She's only being herself. But I just wasn't savvy enough to pick up on it was going to be a problem like that. So I go ahead and pass that knowledge on to you guys. If you do have a dog that seems to go after the collar a lot, just be careful. And the other lesson I learned is we use those quick release collars, the one that you pinch and it pops out. That's the collars that we had because the dog daycare said that that's the kind that they needed. So we just went with that. But the problem with that is out here where it's, even though it doesn't look like it, this is very sandy soil. I've got sod out here. Another reason why I put all this sod, because the sand was just, oh. But the sand impacted the buckle part of it. And that's why it wouldn't release. So it's kind of like the Swiss cheese model. It was one bad thing happened, and the next bad thing happened, and the next bad thing happened, and it leads to one of my dogs losing its life. So very, very tragic. Very, very, very hurted it a lot. I was in, ooh, man, you seen a grown man cry? Yeah, that was me. I was, ooh, man, it hurt. However, I learned a lesson, and I'm passing that lesson on to you guys. Okay, so I know he's resting, but he's not going to be resting much longer because we're going to get ready to burn some energy. I'm going to take her in the house, let her get some water, and let her rest, and he's coming with me. And we're going to get rid of all that extra energy so he can be satisfied and happy, and she can be, having a little brother that's not going to irritate her all day today trying to play with her. So, anyways. Like I said, leave any comment that you want to right now, or you can leave it after the video has been posted. I really appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't interact with you guys more directly. I usually do, and I usually try to be, because that's the point of having a live for me, is I like to talk to you guys. And there's people that I normally see that come regularly. It's nice to kind of see those people. So I apologize, y'all. I really do that I wasn't able to read the comments and interact with you guys this time around. But I'll figure it out next time. And be safe. Love them big dogs. Say, love you guys. Love you. Oh, look at that. I'm stepping on one of their bones. Oh, I'm glad I caught it so it won't run over the lawnmower. Do you want it? Okay, you can have it. She puts it right back down. And now he's jealous. All right, guys. I'm actually going to let y'all go. Y'all have a good day. Have a happy Sunday, okay?